good for the tree, especially long term. It being such an old tree, you know, we want to try to keep it around as long as we can. It's, you know, been said by a professor at UGA there that this tree dates roughly 250 years old. Having said that, we certainly don't want to be the ones responsible for cutting it down. We're going to do what we can to keep it around. So this white oak, we're going to prune it. We're going to remove the dead out of it for one, and then on a lot of these overextended limbs, we're going to do some tip reduction that'll help reduce the weight of the actual limb and provide some stress relief that these crotches where these big limbs are coming out at, and hopefully, potentially, will reduce the risk of failure in those big limbs. And then after the pruning is complete, we'll install the cables, and the cables there too will aid in some stress relief to those crotches.
When you're cabling a huge tree like this, it's a good idea to reduce some of the tip weight before you install the cables. Just another factor to help reduce the risk of failures, which is what we're trying to accomplish by installing the cables. He reduced some over here, taking off such large branches that were dead. The reduction is good on the left side, so he'll do a little more deadwood here and then do a little reduction, and then we'll set up for the cables.
So the deadwood portion is almost complete. There's a few more sticks up here we're going to get. There's a lot of hangers right here in this portion. We're going to grab those, but then as soon as that's done, we're going to back up a little bit more and begin the cabling process, where we'll install the eye bolts into these three main central leaders to tie it together. It'll help here from the main stem where they branch off. We just want to make sure that we're installing these cables in the right spot. You know, too high is not good, too low is not good. Roughly 2/3 the distance from where these big central leaders come out of the main stem to the tips of the crown. So it'll be up there a good ways, but that's what our industry standards have come up with, and that's what we do. So, you know, during times like inclement weather or high winds, you get in here, everything at that point will move in unison as one, as opposed to against one another, creating stress at that union. But here now with the cables, that stress will no longer be as imminent, and it will be quite a bit, it will reduce quite a bit with the cabling, and everything will move as one as opposed to their own separate, and causing that stress there.
So I'm preparing the eye bolt onto the end of the cable. So you got an eye bolt, a washer, a nut, and a thimble, and a pre-wrap. The pre-wrap attaches the cable to the eye bolt. Voila. He's taking a rope up, and he's going to measure how long the spans are going to be for the cable and mark it on the rope and drop the rope down, and I'll be able to cut the cable to the exact length that we need. And this will go into the tree like so. And then he'll install the other side from up there. This is how he's going to tighten the cable now. He'll pull as much as he can with his hand, but he's leaving a certain amount of thread left. So once he installs the pre-wrap, then he'll tighten the bolt down, and that'll take the slack out of the cable. That'll get it to the tension that we need it, which is taut. He's working on the third cable now, and then we'll be finished up. He's actually cutting the end of the eye bolt off to the third cable, and so it's coming to a close. And then he'll take a hammer and he'll pound around the end of the thread, the end of the eye bolt, to prevent, you kind of want to mushroom it out to prevent that nut from backing off.
Before we began, we did a little aerial inspection up there, and the tree was a great candidate for these cables. So we proceeded with the pruning. We removed quite a bit of deadwood out of the tree. It needed a good crown cleaning, so we did that. We did some tip reduction out on some of the larger scaffolding limbs, and after all the pruning was finished, we installed 3 cables up there. The tree has 3 main dominant stems that go up, so we wanted to add the support to those. That's what is going to aid in the longevity of this tree, and hopefully aid in the prevention of some of this limb failure, or these limbs that could potentially fail. So the cables will definitely help with that. But everything was a success all in all, so very happy with the results and the way it turned out, and I think that our client here will be as well. So glad to have been a part of this. This is a really old tree, and I think they're in the process of attempting to get this tree registered and becoming a landmark tree. It's quite the tree, 250-year-old specimen white oak.